Welcome back to the Transfer Show. Now, much has been made of Arsenal's search for a new striker. Mikel Arteta's side currently out in Singapore, and the Arsenal boss was asked whether a certain Viktor Gyokeres would be joining them.
Well, you know that I'm not going to play against any player that is not with us yet.
Short, sweet, and giving absolutely nothing away, was he? James, dare I ask where we are with this deal?
Honestly, with Arteta in any transfer news, it's like water is wet. Arteta dismisses everything.
Yeah.
It's the same every single time. Nothing changes.
No, no.
You've got to feel for reporters sometimes when
give
you're
him the hard stare. Sometimes that works for me, if I can just get a little bit more out of him.
But he still doesn't. I will not talk about any players. Look, we will talk about it, and what we do know about Viktor Gyokeres is the player is currently waiting for permission to fly over to Singapore to finalise his move to Arsenal and join Arsenal's pre-season tour. What we also do know is that final details of a deal worth around £63.5 million are being finalised. Arsenal set to pay a fixed fee of £55.1 million plus £8.7 million in add-ons. That's been the stumbling block. That's been the part that's taken a little bit of time to be completed. But once the agreement is finalised, the player's expected to fly to Singapore to undergo a medical and finally sign for Arsenal. And that means that no more questions about Arsenal finally signing a striker. It looks set to happen. And, you know, a pretty good striker at that. And Arsenal are hopeful that he could play some part in their pre-season tour over there. They played AC Milan today, beat them 1-0, lost on penalties, had Kai Havertz back as that number 9 forward, but I'm sure they're looking for that real, true, proper number 9. And, well, Viktor Gyokeres scoring 54 goals in 52 games last season for Sporting could well be that player. And
there's another one, Dharmesh, that's edging closer to arriving at Arsenal, isn't
it? Christian Mosquera, he's actually in Singapore. We told you yesterday that he was joining up on Arsenal's pre-season tour. Look, he's understood to have agreed a 5-year deal with a 1-year option. Arsenal will pay Valencia an initial £13 million plus performance-related add-ons. This is now a case of when and not if. We're expecting a formal announcement soon. We even thought it might have come today. It might not come today, but it is going to come very soon. They actually played in a pre-season game today. They beat AC Milan over 90 minutes, and then they lost the penalty.
Yes,
It was all pre-arranged. But they play Newcastle United.
You can tell he wasn't listening to me.
No, I know.
No, it's fine.
Stucker with the goal there, wasn't it?
They'll play Newcastle United on Sunday. So whether he'll be available for that or not, we'll soon find out. But Mosquera is very close to happening, and it is some window, this, for Arsenal. Kepa Arrizabalaga coming in as a number 2, a one-time £70 million goalkeeper. Christian Norgard coming from Brentford. Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Noni Madueke as well. And imminently Mosquera and what James mentioned there in Viktor Gyokeres. This is an example of how this new system and new structure is working at Arsenal. Edu has left. Andrea Berta has come in, and Mikel Arteta has spoken so highly of the job that he's done. And it's been a case of Andrea Berta speaking to the clubs and being key in the club-to-club negotiations, while Mikel Arteta is really key when it comes to talking to the player. So this combination has given Arsenal what looks like a really, really impressive transfer window.
It's been like a seamless transition since he's come in, but the Mosquera signing's interesting because he's just 21 years old. Now, Arsenal are set and primed to win now. You can see that by the fact they've signed Zubimendi, the fact they've brought in Norgard with the experience, and what looks like Viktor Gyokeres, a 27-year-old. They are ready to win now, but they're also looking at the future. A 21-year-old on a 5-year contract to not only provide competition for William Saliba, Gabriel, but also to be part of the first-team squad for the future is really important for clubs to continue to do in this window. But it's also contracts as well. If you look in the summer, they signed Gabriel to a long-term contract. They locked down Miles Lewis-Skelly to a long-term contract. Ethan Nwaneri, it still hasn't been announced, but it looks set to be announced, a new 5-year contract. So not only is Andrea Berta at the forefront of bringing in transfers, of bringing in players, he's also at the forefront of ensuring that the current crop of players are staying long-term at Arsenal.
And they'll need to probably keep doing that, won't they, if you're going to catch Liverpool next season, who they're continuing to strengthen despite having a fantastic season. Where are we with Ugo Ekitike? We are Aren't we?
I think this is close. We are expecting this deal to be finalised today, actually, before the player flies out to Liverpool's pre-season tour of Asia. Now, the player began a medical yesterday in London. Personal terms have been agreed. And this is a deal worth £79 million with Eintracht Frankfurt. £69 million fixed fee, £10 million in add-ons. That just seems like how all the deals right now are being conducted. That's what we are all reporting on right now. And we know a striker's been a priority for Liverpool in this window. For Frankfurt in particular, they signed a player just a year ago for £14 million. A £65 million profit is incredible work. But we also know with this player, Newcastle were the first to act actually just about a week ago when we reported it was a £70 million bid rejected by Frankfurt from Newcastle. But for Liverpool, it's just showing their ambition in this transfer window. They've already smashed the British transfer window in bringing in Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, and the spending isn't stopping right now. £79 million for a deal imminent for Hugo Ekitike.
And that takes their spending to around about £300 million, Dharmesh. How are they doing this?
I think that question is usually a question that rival clubs ask about Liverpool, because they're spending all of this money. How can they do it? Look, let's be honest. That club is fantastically run, number one. If you go back to last summer, they only brought in Federico Chiesa for about 10 or 11 million pounds. Admittedly, that one didn't work. They made £40 million in sales of Fabio Carvalho, Bobby Clark and Sepp van den Berg. Add to that the increased market revenue plus Premier League money, Champions League money as well, and it's enabled them to spend this much money, and it's cleared the rest of the field by around 70-odd million pounds. But look, this summer, Jarell Quansah has left for Bayer Leverkusen. Trent Alexander-Arnold's gone to Real Madrid. They even got £10 million for him. Kevin Kelleher's gone to Brentford in a deal that could be worth £18 million. They could still raise funds from the possible sales of Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott. That could be £80 million plus. And the way that the PSR works, you've got £105 million rolling, no more losses than £105 million in 3 years. But the way they do their deals, the £300 million that they might spend, it's not £300 million straight out of the accounts. This will be amortised over the length of a contract, whereas the money they receive can go straight into their books to be able to spend. So that's why Liverpool are able to do what they're doing.
Well, we know Chelsea have spent as well, don't we? Second in that list, £218 million so far. But it has come to our attention that there could be another midfielder.
I'd love to. Mikel, congratulations.
Thank
Looked
you.
like a good workout as well. Couple of talking points, if I may. Firstly, Bukayo Saka scored the only goal, voted man of the match, and looked like he's at a high level of fitness already, showing, if I'm right, what you missed after his hamstring injury last December.
Yeah, overall very happy with the performance, especially with the attitude, the quality, the domination that we showed throughout the game. Obviously, to win as well. And regarding the individuals, a lot of them show that they are already at a really good level. Bukayo is one of them. We have pushed him through the summer as well to catch up a lot of things that he had to give himself the best chance to exploit his qualities, where are better and more highlighted and with more impact every time physically is at the highest level.
And the player who came on to replace him, someone we've been talking about for a long time, Max Dowman, 15, looked to hold his own and scored a pretty cool penalty in the shootout.
Yes, I'm very happy with all the kids. I think they are able to play at that level with 15 years old, in my opinion, because of the environment and the culture that is within the team. And when somebody makes you feel so comfortable, so confident, straight away you can go and do it. At least it gives you the best chance. Then you have to have the qualities that these kids have to actually deliver against an opposition like this.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
On a similar theme, you finished with 4 academy graduates on the pitch and 6 in total. Just how happy does that make you for the future and show what's been going on at Arsenal?
Yeah, it's very good. Obviously, there is a lot of work in our academy, all the coaches, people involved, and it's a moment to give opportunities, to reward them, and they certainly took the chance today in difficult circumstances against a very big team. But yeah, incredible how at 15 years old they can perform at that level.
And Kai Havertz, one of the players who's come back after a long time, first time for a while that we've seen him play, looks to have bulked up over the summer as well. How did you see him, and do you agree?
He's in a very good place. I think the game that he had, I think he was in 3-4 times completely free, and the ball didn't arrive to him. His work rate, what he offers to the team, it's top. So he scored the day against Watford. Today was very close a couple of times as well, but overall very happy with him.
And just finally, no Gabriel or Jurriën Timber in the squad. Is that just a case of where they are in their recovery from their injuries?
Jurriën is still not there. He's not fully training yet with us. And Gabi had a niggle the other day in training. And because the fact that he's been out for so long as well, we have to manage him. I mean, we've been in Spain, different pitch, different conditions, go to the UK, different ones, come here, again, a lot of changes. So we have to minimize the risks with him.
Hi, Mikel. Any thoughts on the Singapore crowd today? Did you expect more people to turn up, and how was the atmosphere overall for you?
Yeah, I would have loved to have a full stadium. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. But when they've been in and around the team, they've always been extremely supportive. And hopefully the next games is going to be more.
Just one more question. Will Singapore fans be able to see a certain Viktor Gyokeres in the National Stadium for the following game?
Well, you know that I'm not going to play against any player that is not with us yet.
Hi, Mikel. On Max Dowman, is the plan just to give him a sighter of the first team over the summer, or do you anticipate him actually playing minutes at some point next season?
No, we don't know. With all the young kids, at the end, they are in and around the team constantly, and they are really getting used to the dynamics, the demands, and especially raising the physical levels, because the demands and actually to be able to perform and impact the game at that level, it demands really, really high physical standards, and they are getting there, and that gives them a good platform, and then they will have to earn it.
Because Max Dowman caught the eye when he came on in the second half, we've almost forgotten about Ethan Nwaneri in the first half. What did he make of his performance, the position that he played, and is he ready to step on and start more and impact more this season?
Well, really good. I think straight away after a few holidays, those kids, they come back from the summer and they look different already. They look more mature. They have a better presence, and Ethan says, and he's been training really hard. He only had a couple of training sessions with us, so for him just to be able to play 45 minutes in that heat as well is a really positive thing. And the same with Marley, the same with George. So really happy with all of them.
Yeah. Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Yeah, you said the players were playing at a very high level today. So are there areas for improvement, going ahead to take on the season?
Yeah, there's always things to improve and try to find that cohesion within the players and share the minutes, and everybody has to step up a level. We know that, and we certainly, I think, in the good direction.
Casi a producto nuevo por semana, producto bonito que, por supuesto, pues siempre invitamos a la gente a que consuma. Si queréis encontrarlo en kingsleague.pro, pues ahí tenéis las nuevas chaquetas training y también esas camisetas especiales con detalles dorados que llevan todos los equipos.
Oye, ustedes tendrán más memoria que yo, pero ¿cuánto quedaron la última vez que se enfrentaron ellos?
3-4 ganó 1K.
3-4.
En el histórico de estos dos equipos, el que gane desempata, porque han ganado 2. El X-Boyer Team ha ganado 2. 1.
Becker se lleva el rebote. Becker para marcar. Becker. El rechazo de Arnaldo. ¡Gol!
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
¡Gol!
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos, Pablo!
¡Qué suerte! Mascarra en el Cooper Arena. ¡Gol de Pablo Becker! Toro físicamente.
¡No será capaz! ¡No! ¡No será capaz! ¡Qué cabrón! ¡Qué cabrón!
A ver
si
sale
sacan más de 3, se quedan sin trabajo. Mira, muy bien. ¿Cómo
bien
valoran el trabajo? Bien.
Ahí está ese ataque por parte del X-Boyer Team. El toque dentro de Becker. Puede marcar Carbó. ¡Gol! ¡Vamos! ¡Gol! Pablo Becker. Becker que quiere poner el centro por delante. Finalmente lo pone por detrás del defensor. Carbó la pista. Carbó.
¡No jodas!
¡Es que es el mejor de esta puta competición!
¡Por algo es el Corona de Oro! Domina, la juega atrás, no se decidió a tirar. Granero busca su perfil, Granero.
Golazo.
¡Gol! De 1K. Marca Granero. Y sí, otra vez lo ha vuelto a hacer. Buller, mira, no,
Gol doble. Gol doble, claro, porque tiene sanción. Ah, claro, vale, vale.
Sanción, efectivamente. Grande. Claro que sí. Bueno, sinceridad ante todo. Ahí está. Juanma el toque. ¡Gol!
Vale.
¡Velilla! ¡Gol! Balón que lleva ahí Pluvins, el disparo. ¡Gol!
Vale.
¡Gol!
Me gusta.
Está haciendo un buen trabajo defensivo, ojo.
¡Granero!
¡Qué golazo!
¡Qué chicharro de Marc Granero! ¡Qué barbaridad! El recorte de zurda y el disparo con la derecha. Que la metió en la escuadra. Ojo ahora que ataca el X Buller Team. ¡Gol! Va a pegar Fuad en la falta.
Santa madre de Dios. Sí.
Vamos a ver ahí esa pelota dentro del área para Juanma, que lo puede matar. ¡Gol!
2 de Juanma.
Sí, no podía ser otro que Roger Carbó. No sé si te imaginabas que tu vuelta iba a ser de esta manera.
Pues la verdad que no, o sea, ha sido la vuelta ideal. Hat-trick, partido de octavos y mañana jugamos cuartos, o sea, ha sido ideal. Aunque el trabajo no, o sea, me lo llevo yo, pero el trabajo es de todos. Hemos trabajado mucho y al final los resultados se han visto reflejados en el campo, así que muy contento.
Parecía o puede parecer que sois el rival más débil por todas las bajas, pero en los pasillos se comenta que nadie quiere enfrentarse a vosotros.
Bueno, a ver, yo escuché una persona que dijo de Gigantes que quería enfrentarse a nosotros, así que mañana a las 9 no te preocupes que estaremos aquí con muchas ganas, y más después de esas declaraciones. ¿Sabes por quién voy?
Yo no lo sé quién es.
No lo voy a decir, esta persona lo sabe.
Bueno, pues enhorabuena.
Muchas gracias.